It's Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter here. Now, normally you see me on this channel sharing what I've done with arts and crafts, and today I'm going to upload something slightly different. I haven't felt very well lately and my mojo has gone, so I really need to do something to get it back. And in this video I'm going to talk to you what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to sit down while I talk to you. Right, if you haven't met me before, my name's Maggie. I'm 69, I'm a retired nurse and midwife, and I live in Chester in the UK. I live in a flat by myself and I have a disability. I've had ME for 39 years and I have carers to help me. Normally on this channel I share what I've been doing, and I haven't felt very well during May, especially not in the past 2 weeks, and I think it's time I need to do something about it. And in this video I'm going to share with you the reasons why I'm doing something about it and what I intend to do about it. So if you haven't seen my previous videos, you might like to go and watch those. There are some things about food and drink or shopping hauls, but this one really is an introduction. Right, so I've decided to do a Mediterranean diet. I'm overweight. I'm about 13.5 stone. I'm only 5'4", and I'm definitely one of those apple shapes. So I'm a short, fat, old woman, really. And because of my disability, when I go out, I walk a very short distance with a stick, or I'm in a wheelchair with a carer to assist me. Because of my disability, it's difficult for me to do exercise. Exercise makes my condition worse. And in addition to ME, I've got other associated things like hypothyroidism, and that's a low thyroid, and depression and anxiety. But there are other things like cardiac arrhythmias. So me and exercise don't go together. Neither does cooking, baking. I'm not really a foodie. I do have a local GP, and from that practice they monitor my bloods regularly. And there are really 3 reasons why I'm wanting to do something about it now. Now, my GP has been monitoring my bloods, my BP levels, my cholesterol levels, and they also test my thyroid function levels. And really, they've been trying to get me to go on statins, and I don't want statins. Now, the side effects of statins would make all the symptoms that I have with ME worse. So I'm very reluctant to do that. But I'm 69, I want to get to 70, I want to be healthier and fitter than I am right now, and I need to do something about it. And I'm going to try and do that through diet mostly, and a change of lifestyle. Now, in the last month, my body clock has been completely upside down. During the week, I do have help from carers. My main carer this last week hasn't been here, so I've spent a lot of time being unable to sleep at night, sleeping badly during the day. I sleep for 12 to 15 hours, and when I get up, I'm trying to get food and drink into me and medication, trying to have a bath, and I've spent most of my time in my nightie over the past week. I think you can see by my appearance, I'm not looking at my best. I'll show you my hair. My hair is very greasy. It was very matted yesterday. It needs colouring. And I think you can see from my skin, apart from going grey, you can see I'm going very, very spotty, very grey, very self-conscious about it. I'm feeling fat, a lump. And when we went out yesterday to shop, I only go out once a week to shop. So we went out, you can see my lips dry too. We went out yesterday and I said, I'm feeling fat, frumpy, greasy haired, spotty, really dry, and also my toes are really gnarly. And I just said, this is the sort of day you'd bump into an ex-boyfriend and you'd be really embarrassed. I'm glad to say we didn't, but I was able to go out yesterday and do a shop because I'm going to begin a Mediterranean diet. Now, the main reason is for my health. I've been aware that although I have irritable bowel syndrome and I've avoided dairy and wheat for years, they've crept back in, and much of my diet has been carbohydrate based. I only have a meal about once a day, and then I'd be reaching for whatever's convenient. So it might just be a sandwich, and then the rest of the day is biscuits, cake, or packet of crisps. That's not a good diet, is it? And I'm aware that it's not. If I can get a gluten-free option like bread or pasta or oats, for example, I'll buy the gluten-free option. They're readily available in the supermarkets here. Milk. I try to avoid cow's milk. Instead, I drink soya milk. And for the past 6 months or so, I've been taking the cholesterol-reducing yoghurt drinks. This is Benecol, and I buy the equivalent in Tesco or Aldi because they're cheaper, and we've found that they have started to bring my cholesterol levels down. But when I get up, I am feeling very full. My medication makes me very constipated. The last thing I want is food and drink, so I need to change that too. Let me check my notes. The pharmacist and the nurse at the surgery have asked me to take a look at triglycerides, and I have done. And I've Googled and done my own research. I don't want to pay money for a Mediterranean diet. I don't want to be coached. I don't want to be guided with recipes. Because of my disability, I can't cook. So that would be a waste of time and a waste of money. And I'm trying to find ways around that. I am aware it's going to cost me slightly more, and I'm beginning it in the summer when salads are going to be easier to find. There's plentiful seasonal fresh fruit and veg, and I can eat lots of cold meals. So this is a good time for me to try it, isn't it, really? Now, my risks, really, health-wise, are stroke and heart attack, and I'm in the pre-diabetic range. So I don't want to become diabetic, and I certainly want to try and avoid stroke and heart attack. So that's number one. That health is my main focus for this. If I manage to lose some weight, then great. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it most of all for my health. Secondly, for how I look. I look dreadful. Well, for all the reasons I've just told you. And thirdly, I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel healthier. I want to have a little bit more energy. I want to have a bit more control over my life. And I want to look in the mirror and think, oh yeah, you look all right today. Not, oh God. When we go out and my carer pushes me in the shops, we go in the lifts and they've all got mirrors in them. So you go in the mirror and, oh, you look in the mirror and you just groan. I just absolutely groan. I go, oh my God. I was pretty once and I don't know what's happened. Well, I do know what's happened. Life's happened. But like many of us, life's happened. Right, so I'm going to, on this channel, the first video I'm going to upload is looking at what shopping I've done, what foods I've avoided buying. I am aware that I have got a freezer full of food that might not quite fit into this Mediterranean diet, and that's okay. I will eat that gradually. There are things I want to avoid. There were certain aisles in the supermarkets that I wanted to avoid, and I did manage to do that. I don't want to be doing takeaways. I don't want Just Eat. I don't want any fast food delivers. I don't want to be going to a fish and chip shop. However, I do treat myself to a coffee out with my carer when we go out. I'll just be careful what we eat. Now, when we went out on Thursday, we went to Marks and Spencer's cafe, and I had a wholemeal sandwich with, it was chicken and basil pesto and spinach on wholemeal bread, and that's fine, and a coffee. And when I'm out, I'm able to get soya milk quite readily in the UK now, and I use sweetness for that. On this channel then, the first video I'm going to do is a shopping haul. I'm going to look at what I can buy for my cupboards so that I can spread the cost, what foods will freeze, how much foods have cost and where I've sourced them from. I'm not on an unlimited budget, so I do try to be careful. I think I've mentioned I'm just doing it for me. I want easy, readily available foods that aren't going to exhaust me preparing or cooking anything, because that will just defeat the object. I do have a problem with my grip, and I want to make sure that I don't need to use too many knives or cooking implements with hot things so there's burns and scalds. I'm aware of that. If I need to cut anything, I'll ask my carers to help me, and I've got a few recipe ideas. My main thing is I'll be looking at avoiding certain foods, and that is cutting down on dairy, carbohydrates and sugars. So with that in mind, why don't you join me on my next video, and I'll share with you, well, the shopping trip I've done, and I would call it a rainbow of colour. So they say eat healthily, eat a rainbow. I'm trying to eat more fresh foods, non-processed foods, more nuts, more fish. Yeah, I'm nuts already, I know. More nuts, more fish, and I'll share with you what I bought and what I paid for it, and some tips. Right, I'll see you in the kitchen shortly. For now, this is Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter. Thanks for joining me today. Did I show you outside? Did I show you the sunshine? How beautiful is that sky? Really nice. I have got some things growing in tubs in the garden by my front door. Well, it's patio really, and I'm going to make the best use of those too. And I'll give you tips on what you can eat from your garden as well. But for now, this is Maggie, a bit of a bedraggled feeling, bit of a bedraggled looking Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter. But thanks for joining me today. Come back and see me soon, won't you? Bye. Nobody wants boring tea, do they? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss those videos, and come back and see me soon. Ta-da!